Hello everybody, I'm Paolo Broccardo and today we're going to look at 9 ways to reduce anxiety naturally. Now, many people may turn to hormone replacement therapy or other chemicals such as antidepressants or happy pills as a way of reducing anxiety. And while they may work, there are natural ways to accomplish this without sometimes having to resort to hormones or chemicals. So today we're going to look at these natural methods. I have written an article about this on my blog and you can find a link to that in the description of this video. But we're going to look at 9 ways to reduce anxiety naturally, and points 8 and 9 are especially important or critical in today's crazy, chaotic culture. So be sure to pay special attention to those ones. But with that said, let's get straight into it. Here are 9 ways to reduce anxiety naturally. Tip number 1, eat a healthy diet. Now, this doesn't have to be complicated, right? We're not bodybuilders doing this complicated body composition. We're simply consuming foods that are good for our mood. So eat mostly whole, unprocessed foods and avoid refined processed foods as much as possible. Things like processed sugar and processed meats. And you want to include mostly whole grains, vegetables and fruits, and quality protein and fat sources in your diet. Avoid abusing junk food, fast food, and high sugar foods or drinks and desserts. These are things that should be used as treats once in a blue moon, but they shouldn't be a regular part of your diet. And finally, consider taking a vitamin D supplement if you live in a northern hemisphere or where there's less sun than usual, because vitamin D deficiency is strongly linked to depression and mood disorders. So just keep an eye out on that one. Tip number 2 is eat probiotics and fermented foods. Now, you might not have heard of these, or you might be asking yourself why. And an important aspect of a person's health, right, is your stomach or your gut and the bacteria, the healthy bacteria that reside there. And a lot of people neglect this, and it plays an important role in your health and especially also in your mood, right? So what you want to do is make sure that you consume a lot of probiotics and fermented foods. And these can include things like yogurt, sauerkraut, tempeh, pickles, kombucha, and a couple of others. Now, if these foods sound foreign to you or you have difficulty finding them somewhere, then probiotic supplements, they're fine too. I consume them, I take them just because these foods are a bit difficult to get a hold of a lot of the time. But you want to make sure that you have healthy gut flora and healthy gut bacteria, and consuming probiotics and a fermented food is the best way to do this. Not only does it help with anxiety and reducing anxiety, but it comes with a whole bunch of other health benefits such as weight loss, improved digestion, enhanced immune function, better skin, and a reduced risk of many other diseases. Tip number 3, exercise. Do I need to say more? We all know that exercise offers immense health benefits that positively affect your weight, muscles and bones, your skin and your sex life. But more importantly, it may help improve sleep, your brain health, energy levels, and make you feel happier. So you can see exercise plays a critical part when it comes to mood and anxiety as well. Regular exercise, like a healthy diet, should be a non-negotiable in your life. Tip number 4, reduce, or better yet, abstain from alcohol. Alcohol can negatively affect our thoughts, feelings, and actions, and sometimes our long-term mental health. So if you struggle with anxiety and you drink alcohol, then this should be a giant red flag for you. Now, in the past, we were told that light to moderate drinking could offer health benefits, but this has been scientifically debunked. The latest research in 2018 has shown that alcohol offers no positive benefits or effects whatsoever. And at the very best, it doesn't do any harm in small amounts. Now, mostly though, alcohol has a negative impact on your health and lifespan and increases your risk of chronic diseases. So in today's day and age, there really is no good reason to consume alcohol anymore, especially if you struggle with anxiety and depression. Tip number 5, quit smoking. Quitting smoking has been scientifically associated with improved mental health and a decrease in the risk of alcohol and drug use, which can also affect your mental health. So basically, ditch the fags. Tip number 6, practice meditation or yoga. Now, meditation has been shown to reduce symptoms of anxiety, especially mindfulness-based meditation. But meditation and yoga may not be for everyone. So give it a try. See if it helps improve your mood and your anxiety. And if it does, well, there you go. Keep that as part of your regimen. But if it doesn't, then maybe move on to other tips and other ways to help alleviate your anxiety. Tip number 7, limit caffeine. In general, low to moderate amounts of caffeine may improve your mood, metabolism, and mental and physical performance. However, high doses of caffeine may have unpleasant and even dangerous side effects. The negative effects of too much caffeine may include anxiety, insomnia, fatigue, high blood pressure, and rapid heart rate, all of which can have a negative impact on your mental well-being. So try drinking less coffee if you notice it does have a negative effect on your anxiety. Okay, now we move on to the last 2 points, points 8 and 9, which I personally think are the most important, especially in our current crazy, chaotic culture that we live in. So let's get to it. Number 8, unplug. Less virtual, more reality. Social media and the internet is making people miserable and less social. As people spend more time online entertaining fake, superficial connections, they spend less time cultivating real-life, meaningful friendships and relationships. And this environment is a breeding ground for negative thoughts, anxiety, and depression. Worse, it atomizes you and cuts you off from real connections. Unplug. Spend less time online and more time in the real world. Talk to people, face to face preferably. Smile, look people in the eye, say hello. Make new friends, talk to your neighbor, and build or become part of a community where possible. Also, go to the gym, join a martial arts class, participate in some sport or hobby, right? Interact with other people. And if you can, try and contribute something to the world rather than mindlessly consuming. I know it's hard, but try and give rather than just take and consume. Having a purpose where you provide value will give your life meaning and, more importantly, reduce feelings of anxiety. Finally, tip number 9, deal with your addictions and your issues. One of the biggest contributors to anxiety, depression, and suicide is unresolved issues and addiction. These issues may stem from as far back as childhood or be as a result of a life trauma event. Now, many people don't know they have these issues or how to cope or deal with them, and so, like autopilot, they turn to addictive behaviors and substances to escape. Now, these may include alcohol, drugs, porn, gambling, reckless, risky behavior, video games, and there are others. Now, these addictions fuel even more anxiety and depression, which then lead to an increase in more of the addictive behaviors and substances. And this can naturally have a vicious snowball effect. So, the best way to tell if you're an addict is to try and quit or take a significant break from the behavior or substance. If you find yourself unable to, or after a little time are drawn back into the addictive behavior, even though you don't want to, then you may need to seek help. Counseling or therapy is highly recommended. I personally highly recommend it as well. Therapy should be a judgment-free space for you to open up and deal with things you're unable to talk to anyone else about. And most importantly, do not feel shame or ashamed for asking for help or for getting help. Too many people, especially men, keep things bottled up, which can have fatal consequences. And that's it. If you struggle with anxiety, then try integrating one of these strategies and see how it goes, right? If it works for you, then keep it. If it doesn't work, then toss it and then move on to the next strategy. And obviously keep all the ones that do work for you. And if you find some strategies don't work for you, then just toss them and move on, right? And that's it. Most of these strategies I implement and work on in my own life. I don't think I do yoga. That's one of the few I don't do, but I do meditate. But see what works for you and keep those. Now, if you have any suggestions that I haven't included in this video, then please leave a comment below so that we can have a look at those and other people can see it. Or if you found that any of these strategies have helped you, then please let people know in the comment section below so that other people can see it and be motivated or inspired to use that strategy in their own life and to help their own anxiety. And as I said before, there's more details about this particular topic in the blog post that I did on my website. You can find a link to that in the description of this video as well. And finally, if you did find this video helpful, then please just click the like button. And that's it for today. I'll see you guys next time.